I would like to share with you the importance of having an effective action plan. Why do we need an action plan? Because in everything that we do, regardless the kind of goal we have, it's in on the personal level or the professional level or the academic level, whenever we want to accomplish something, we need to have a plan of action. We need to have that action plan that is going to take us to that level. And if we don't do it, then we seem to be lost. Sometimes we just lose track of what we want to do. And in order to make any accomplishments in life, we do need to have an action plan. So what is an action plan and why do I promote it so often? Because the action plan is like a guide that will guide us on our path to whatever accomplishment, to whatever we want to achieve in life. It helps us identify our priorities. It helps us to have those priorities very clear in our minds. It helps us with a structure. It provides us with a frame and a structure that we as human beings so much need. And it also serves as an instrument. It helps us a lot to get organized. One of the things that I always promote is to organize ourselves, because no one's going to do what you are supposed to do for yourself. Now let's play a little game here. Let's imagine that we're going to go on a trip. Let's imagine that we want to travel, okay? Everybody likes to travel. The first thing that we need to do if we wish to travel is to define what is the purpose of our travel. If we're going to be traveling, are we going to go on a business trip? Are we going to go and it's going to be just for having fun, pleasure? Or are we going to go for academic reasons? Are we going to go to a training or a workshop or something? What is it that we want to do with this specific trip that we want to take? So once we identify and define the purpose of our trip, then we choose where we want to go. What's the location that we want to go? Why do we need to know where we want to go? Because we don't decide that we're going to take off all of a sudden not knowing where to go. We need to know which place we're going to go visit in order to know if we need to take a plane or if we need to drive or if we need to take a boat, or what is it that we're going to be able to do. Once we define that specific place that we want to go to, that allows us to plan, check on the weather, plan the clothes that we're going to be taking with us, the amount of money, financial resources that we're gonna be needing, the transportation, if we can rely on a public transportation, if we need to rent a car, if someone's gonna pick us up. We need to have all these little details all figured out, and they depend on the place that we're gonna be traveling to. Once we know this, we need to decide when. We need to check our calendars, check our agendas, and define the dates. When can I leave? When will I arrive? How many days will I stay? When will I come back? All these are questions that we need to define them in order to make that trip that we're planning. Finally, and most important of all, we need to do it. We need to actually pack our things and go. We can think about traveling all around the world and make plans, but until that day that specifically we take our luggage, we go to the airport and we go and take off, we're not going to be able to go anywhere. So see how the action at the end, all these little actions take us to this main action that is the one that is going to take us to that desired result, in this case, the traveling, the trip, the place that we want to meet. It is exactly the same thing in our lives. We need to be able to know what we want and where we're going in order to plan ahead and be able to have some sort of structure. Now, let's talk about the effectiveness of the action plan, and let's see what are the steps that we need to take. The first one, we need to identify the goals. What do I want? What is it that I want? What is it that I'm longing so much? What is it that I desire to see in my life? And again, it doesn't matter. It can be a personal goal, an academic goal, a professional goal. It doesn't matter which area of your life it is, but you have to define that specific main goal that you want to be able to accomplish. And my suggestion is that you write it down. You know that I'm always promoting that you do these things in writing, because you can always go back, revisit what you've written and look at it and change it and adjust it. But it gives you that sense of knowing, and putting it in writing help you see it and help you connect with that goal. Now, the second step after you identify your goal and you put it in writing is to actually break that main goal into small goals. It is like a big set of stairs. In order to get up there, you need to go step by step. It is the same thing. This is something that has been helpful for me, to have that main goal break into small pieces, into small goals that as I go and I achieve each one of these, it's taking me closer to that final result that I want. Also, and this is very important, you need to evaluate the risk. You need to consider all the obstacles, all the setbacks that you might be able to encounter. I know that there will be things that we didn't plan for, or things that we cannot know in advance, but you pretty much have an idea of some of the possibilities and negative things that might come your way. At least for me, it is a very useful exercise to consider all the risk and to plan some strategies in advance so I know what to do in case that I encounter some of those risks. However, there will be some unpredictable ones that I will have to face along the way, but it gives me that sense of power to be able to plan ahead and consider all the risk and know some strategies that I think might help me. Then it is extremely important to make a diagram, to write down all the specific actions that you need to implement. And what I do is that I start like some sort of just ideas that I write down. I just don't write them in any specific order. I just go writing down every single thing that I know I will have to do at one point or another. And then after I have all those ideas, then I go put in numbers to it. What I'll do first, what I'll do second, what I'll do next. I put them and in order of priorities for the actions to be implemented. So this helps me a lot. And again, this is the part that is all planning, because it's what's going to take me to the most important two actions that I need, which are to take my agenda, take my calendar, and set a time frame, a timeline, when I'm going to start, when I'm going to do this, by when I want to be able to accomplish it, because this is what's going to guide me. It's what's going to give me direction. And finally, start putting those actions together. Start with the implementation. Again, and as I was talking to you before, when we were planning to travel, unless we do it, it's all a plan. And it's the same thing with the action plan. The action plan can be amazing when you implement it, when you put all the actions together and do it. But if not, it's just a whole bunch of exercises that you write down and you won't see the results that you want, because you are not doing what you need to do in order to get to that accomplishment that you want. So action is the key word again. Implementing those actions will be the foundation, because otherwise it'll be just planning. But I can tell you, and this is something that I want to leave you today, some of the benefits of having an effective action plan. And this is based on my own experience and people that I have been assisting in their process that can also tell you how beneficial this has been for them. I can share with you the main benefits of having an effective action plan are that sense of empowerment, self-empowerment we need, how powerful we feel about being able to plan things in our life, that focus and direction that we get to have, that is just amazing, because it gets you organized, it gets you going, and you feel that somehow you know where you're going, what you're doing. I cannot start telling you about the high probabilities of results that you're going to be having. By having an action plan, the probability of you being able to get to that goal, it's so high. And sometimes people complain their entire lives about not being able to accomplish something, but they don't realize that all they've done is plan, but never implemented their plan, never put the actions together, and never had a timeline or a time frame, and therefore years go by and they didn't realize how much time they've wasted. So it is extremely important that we know this, because yes, we're going to get results. I can guarantee that. And finally, Your satisfaction, the sense of pride you feel about yourself has such an impact in our self-esteem, in the way that we perceive ourselves. Why? Because we feel satisfied with what we're doing. We feel that we've been on track. We feel that discipline. We feel that those results are ours, and that gives us such a joy. So I invite you today to consider designing your action plan, having an effective action plan put together, and especially, my friends, put those actions together. It's not enough to plan. You need to do. Go ahead and do it. See you soon.